Hey everyone, this is Daryl, aka The D from the Simply Incredible podcast. Today I'm going over UFC 198. It just ended. Coming into this fight card, I thought this could possibly be maybe the best fight card of the year. Just stacked from top to bottom on the main card. Then Anderson Silva got hurt. I want to say that was either earlier this week or last week. So that kind of changed the event for me a little bit. But all in all, the main card was pretty good for the length of the fights. I guess we got to put that in there. We start off in the welterweight division. We had Warley Alves versus Brian Barberina. Good fight. It went to decision. It was to me. It was one of those fights that almost could have gone either way, just one round or the other. But Barberina got the win, and I think he really deserved it. I think that was a good decision on this one. But Alves was throwing some bombs in the first round. Had a submission attempt and guillotine, and it looked like it was on pretty tight. Had the arm in, so you know what, in as tight as it could have been. And at first, it was right at the beginning of the first round, and he was telling the ref, "It's done. He's done. He's done." And he was not done. Barberina was not done. And he kept coming at. Tough guy. Took some big shots, some wicked kicks, some just really strong body kicks that he was taking. But his clinch game was really good. And as the second round come around, he came alive. Third round coming around, it just kept going and going. And really, to me, he won the second and third round fairly convincingly to me. So I think the decision was right on with Barberino winning that. Next in the light heavyweight division, we had number 8, Shogun Hua, which, like this guy, he's been around seemingly forever, a long, long time, against Corey Anderson. Good fight. I thought it was very, very tight, a very tight fight, very even. It ended up going to a split decision. Shogun got the split decision. And my first thought was I thought Anderson should have gotten the win in this one. Being in Brazil is going to make it a little tougher. But, I can't really complain about this one. But it was tight either way, I think. But, it's one of those things they always say, yeah, don't leave it to the judges. You know what? Sometimes the other fighter makes it so you can't finish it. The other fighter is tough enough to where you're not going to finish. But it's one of those things that it could have gone either way. And so, I'm not like bashing the judges on this one. There are plenty of fights in the past that definitely deserve bashing. This one, not so much. So, I mean, if someone told me they really thought Shogun won, I would have said, you know what, you're probably right. And if someone tells me they think Anderson won, I would have said the same thing. Because, again, I think it was very even. Maybe one round. It's probably turned on the second round. Depends on, what the judges went with on that round. But it was a split decision, so, that's how tight it was. Next, Leslie Smith versus, and for the first time in the UFC, we've been talking about wanting to see her in the UFC for a long time. Chris Cyborg, she come in, her first fight, and it's one of those things going, I was like, I feel bad for her first opponent. And Leslie Smith just happened to be that opponent. And she got knocked out in the first round. Kind of what I expected. Cyborg is just a monster in there. She's ferocious. They were talking about her, about how she spars with men and gives them trouble. And I was talking to one of my friends. I was like, that doesn't surprise me at all. She's so big. She's so tough. She's so strong. It was at a catch weight at 140. And they were always talking about her and Ronda Rousey fighting, and she would have had to get all the way down to 135, that's another 5 pounds for Cyborg, and that's gonna be tough for her. If she can do that, she can get in that weight class. It is a stacked weight class, so it'd be good to see her getting down there and doing that. And as good as she is, she might just dominate that division too, because everywhere she's been, she's dominated. I mean, just thoroughly dominated people. I remember she fought Gina Carano and just destroyed her in that fight. But just a tough lady, just tough as can be, tough as nails. Um, I really don't. If she does get down to that weight class, I don't know who's going to take her. She's that big, that strong, and she throws hard, and I don't know. I mean, I think she can dominate the division. I really do, even though I think it's a stacked division. Personal opinion only. Next, we had Jacare Souza against Vitor Belfort in the light heavyweight division. This is really probably one of the fights I was really looking forward to, because I thought, yeah, this is going to be good right here. And Jacare finished Belfort in the first round with a TKO. I really thought it was going to be a ground game where they did some grappling and stuff. Souza got him down, beat on him a little bit. Before Vitor got back up, and moved around a little bit more, and Souza was just on him so tight. When it was up, he was on him tight. So Vitor couldn't get any good punches off, and Souza got him back down to the ground. Was going just ground and pound, ferocious ground and pound. Vitor, who's been around, I think they said since UFC 12, I believe they said. So he is really the last of the really early guys in the UFC. And I want to say, that was in the mid 90s when he was in there. So that to me, it's and I was really hoping he would win, but you know what? I really picked Souza, but I was my heart was going for Vitor, just for being the old man on the block, so to speak. But yeah, Souza come in, did the job. He's a tough guy. You just look at him and say he's the guy coming up for the winner of UFC 199, Weidman versus Luke Rockhold for the championship, Rockhold's title. So Souza, he's a tough guy. I would not be surprised if he could beat one of the other two guys. I wouldn't be surprised if one of those other two guys that can throw some leather, maybe counteract some of that jiu-jitsu. I don't know. But, could be a great fight. And the heavyweight division, we had Fabricio Werdum defending his title versus Stipe Miocic. This is one I picked Stipe to win for two reasons. One, I think he's a really good fighter, and two, I really like saying Stipe. I really do. But Fabricio, they said this, and I didn't even realize this, but it's been almost a year since his last fight. In my mind, I was thinking he fought toward the end of last year, but they said he had not. And they said he got there like a week or so early, so he could get used to everything, be ready. Stipe come in. They both look good going in. Fabricio was doing really a lot of moving forward, and I think his thought was if he keeps going forward, it's going to really counteract the power that Miocic has, because he's got some leather and can really throw some bombs. And Miocic, he got one off as Werdum was coming forward, caught him once, and you can tell he kind of rocked him a little bit, and Fabricio did the same thing again, kept coming forward, kept charging him, and he got caught again. And the second time he got caught, he was out. The fight was over. It was, again, early in the first round. So the last three fights on the card were first round finishes. So that's kind of a short night. But all in all, I thought it was a pretty decent card. And like I say, coming into it, I really thought this card was going to be really, really good. It was good, but when you have three first round finishes, it's not as good as it could be. Well, as as like I kind of was thinking it would be. Because really, I thought Cyborg was going to be a first round finish, but everything else I thought was going to be a great at least 2-3 round fights. In the heavyweight title match, I kind of thought might last longer, might last into the third, fourth round. Maybe even all the way to a decision. But it is what it is. Sometimes you have a group of decisions. Sometimes you have a bunch of knockouts. You never know in the UFC from fight to fight to event to event. Next major events will be UFC 199. We're almost at 200. That big number 200. Two good fights on here. Dominic Cruz versus Uriah Faber. I believe this will be the third one in a trilogy. I suppose three's a trilogy, right? I think this is their third event, third fight, and both of them have one win. And then Weidman versus Rockhold, a rematch for the title. Last time Rockhold beat Weidman for the title, and so that should be fun to watch. Should be a good match. And to be honest, I don't know what else is on the card. I know those two fights, two good fights. So that could be good. And one thing I recently heard, and it's one of those things that you have rumors in the UFC and stuff like that. I've been hearing that maybe the UFC may get sold. And they were saying that it may be as high, and this is a staggering number to me. $3.5 to $4 billion sale. That's like, wow, that's a lot of money. Because they were saying that when Dana and the Fertitta brothers, they got together and purchased it, it was, I want to say, $2 million, right around that $2 million mark, and now it could sell for $3.5 billion. I mean, that's an amazing number, and I'm kind of hoping it does not get sold, but because you know what you're getting now. If it's sold, you don't know what you're going to get. Will Dana still be around? If it's sold, will he still be there? Will the same people making the fight cards and everything? Will they still be there? Will the new ownership bring in new people? You know what? Just wait and see. I'm like I say, me personally, I'm hoping we stay the course. But you know what? It's business. 4.5, $3.5 billion would make me sell pretty quick. But you know what? It is what it is. Nothing we can do except sit home and enjoy it. But that's all we got today. UFC 198, good card, a lot of finishes, a lot of knockouts. But you know what? It happens sometime. And that's all I got today. And you guys have an incredible day.